What's up you guys? So today in this video, I am doing an updated version on how to connect the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro wireless headset with the game DAC to my PlayStation 4 Pro using my MacBook Pro M3 Max running Elgato Studio and OBS Studio. In my initial video, I showed that you were able to download the Elgato Capture Device Utility software from the Elgato website to your Mac. You were able to configure and update the firmware on the Elgato HD60 X game capture card. So it was brought up to my attention from one of the comments for one of the videos that I did that the Elgato Capture Device Utility was not available on the Elgato website anymore. Elgato discontinued the software. So the new Elgato software that you are able to configure and update the firmware for your Elgato game capture cards is the Elgato Studio. You can download that program both for Mac and for Windows. So for this setup, I'll be using the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro wireless headset along with the game hub that comes with it. I'll be using the Elgato HD60 X. I'll also be using the Chat Link Pro cable. The controller I'll be using is the Victrix Pro loaded controller, and I'll be running OBS Studio on my MacBook Pro M3 Max. So this is the front, and then this is the back. For the Chat Link Pro cable, we're first going to be using the male connector here that splits off from the Y splitter. We're going to connect that to line out on the game hub. We're going to get a USB-C to USB-A cable. We're going to connect the USB-C to the section that says USB, and we're going to connect that to the PlayStation 4 Pro. And then for the Elgato HD60 X, we're going to connect the other male connector from the Elgato Chat Link Pro. We're going to connect it to the aux port here on the Elgato HD60 X. Then here in the back, we have the HDMI cable that comes from the PlayStation 4 Pro. The middle one is the USB-C Thunderbolt 5 cable that goes to the MacBook Pro M3 Max. And then this port is the HDMI cable that goes to the TV. We'll be using the Victrix Pro BFG reloaded controller, and we're not going to connect anything to it. So with this setup, I could use the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro wireless headset wirelessly without connecting any wires to the headset. And I could be using the Victrix Pro BFG reloaded controller without any wires too. I'm not constrained with any wires. I could have more freedom of movement without any wires connected on the controller and on the headset. If for any reason make it a wired headset on the Chat Link Pro on the female connector, I just connect the aux cable from here to the headset and I'll make it a wired connection. But purpose of this video is just to show that the setup will be a more wireless. So right now we're gonna go to settings, go all the way down to system, and you select it, and you go all the way down to enable HDCP. So this option by default is checked, is turned on, so you want to uncheck it. When you uncheck it, then you're able to capture gameplay using a game capture card, or in my instance, it's the Elgato HD60 X. For the PlayStation 4 Pro, I'll be using the Elgato HD60 X game capture card. In order to configure and update the firmware on the Elgato HD60 X, you will need to go to the Elgato website, go to the download section, you click on it, you scroll down and make sure you're on the Mac section, and we're going to be downloading the Elgato Studio for Mac. You just hit download. On my previous video, I showed that you were able to download the Elgato Capture Device Utility for Mac to configure and update the firmware for the Elgato HD60 X. But since that recording up to right now, Elgato discontinued that program, so you're not able to download or find the Elgato Capture Utility software on their website. So the only software that's compatible with all game capture cards is the Elgato Studio here from Mac, and it's also available for Windows. So once you downloaded the Elgato Studio on your Mac, you open the app, and now we're going to be connecting the Elgato HD60 X to my MacBook Pro M3 Max. So now the Elgato HD60 X, it's connected. So right now we're going to check if we have a firmware update for the Elgato HD60 X. You go up here, and by the looks of it, I think we do have a firmware update for it. And yes, I'm correct. So the first thing you want to do is update the firmware. So we're going to update the firmware. So I finished updating the firmware. Now we're going to disconnect it and reconnect it. So now we can see that the firmware was updated. So this is the latest firmware. Now, in order to configure the Elgato HD60 X, we're going to go to the right hand corner over here, click on this icon. Now we can change the different options here for recording, video, and audio. So we can change the resolution, we can change the frame rate, and we can change to this. We can change the format on video. So these are the options for video. By default, the audio input for the Elgato HD60 X, it is selected as HDMI audio. That is good if you're just going to use the Elgato HD60 X to capture gameplay. If you leave this at HDMI audio and you connect the Elgato Chat Link Pro, once you do recording or streaming, you're not going to be able to hear anything. If you're using a headset and you want both the gameplay audio and the party chat audio, you need to use the Elgato Chat Link Pro, and you need to swap this option to analog audio in order to have both the gameplay audio and the party chat audio in your recording and streaming. From my previous video, if you're able to download the Elgato Capture Device utility on the Mac, you're still able to use that program. You're just not able to download it off the Elgato website. So right now I have opened the Elgato Capture utility device and I have connected the Elgato HD60 X. As you can see now, it's running the latest firmware. Like we just downloaded the firmware and there's no more firmware. If you have the Elgato Capture Device utility, you can use it. If you were not lucky enough to download it, then you go and use the Elgato Studio. For OBS Studio, you have to go to the official website, which is obsproject.com. For, like, I'm using the MacBook Pro M3 Max, I'm gonna be going with macOS. And then you have two versions of the macOS. You have the macOS Intel, that's the older MacBooks with the Intel chip, so it'll be like the Intel i7 and older. And then you have this one, which is a macOS Apple Silicon, so that this one supports the M1, M2, M3, M4, and M5. For this instance, I'm currently on my MacBook Pro M3 Max. I'm going to be choosing macOS Apple Silicon. Click here, and then it'll start downloading. So once you finish downloading OBS Studio and you open the application, then you're greeted with initial setup. You have to link one of your streaming accounts. So in my instance, I link my Twitch account. And then after that, you'll be able to set up your OBS interface. But yeah, this makes it possible to capture gameplay and also to stream gameplay off the console. So right now we're going to connect the Elgato HD60 X and configure it in OBS Studio in order to get the video and audio feed from my PS4 Pro. So the first thing you do after you do the initial setup is you create scenes. In order to create a scene, you have to go to the scenes section. You go down to the plus here where it says add source. You click it and then you type in a name and then you press OK. After you created a scene, then you go to sources. So under sources, you're going to go to the plus sign, add source. You're going to click it. You're going to go to video capture device. And then you're going to name the device. So it'll be HD60 X. You're going to hit OK. You're going to get this pop-up window. On device, you're going to select the Elgato HD60 X. Because we want to customize it, we're not going to use preset. And we're gonna leave it at 1080p. And then we're gonna go to simple FPS value. We're gonna select 60. Then we're gonna hit OK. So just adding the video capture device on OBS Studio only shows the video feed coming from the Elgato HD60 X that's currently connected to the PS4 Pro. As you can see, I could actually control it with a controller. But because we're using the macOS Apple Silicon version of OBS Studio on my MacBook Pro M3 Max, there's an additional step you need to do when using OBS Studio on macOS. So in order to get the audio feed coming from the Elgato HD60 X when running OBS Studio on a Mac, you need to add an audio input capture device. You go to the sources section, go down to the plus sign, the add source, you click on it, you scroll all the way up where it says audio input capture, you click on it, and then you name the device. So we're gonna name it HD60 X audio. Then you hit OK. Then we're gonna get this pop-up window where it says device. We're gonna click on it and we're gonna select the Elgato HD60 X. This is how you mute it. We're gonna go to audio mixer, and then for this newer updated OBS Studio software, you go here where it has the gears icon. Before, you used to right click and go to advanced properties, but it doesn't show you here. So you have to go to the gears, and that's the advanced audio properties. You click on that, and then we go to the first one that we created, which was the HD60 X audio. You go all the way down to audio monitoring, and you select monitor and output, and then you hit close. So now you're able to get the video feed and the audio feed coming from the Elgato HD60 X that's connected to your PS4 Pro or PS4. So in order to customize the sound profile and update the firmware on the Arctis Nova Pro wireless headset, you need to go over to the SteelSeries website, go to software, and then you're gonna download the SteelSeries GG app that's compatible with Windows only. So you need to have access to a PC or have a virtual machine running Windows 11 on your MacBook. On my MacBook Pro M3 Max, I have Parallels Desktop Virtual Machine running Windows 11 Pro Canary. There is a mobile companion app SteelSeries made, but is not compatible with the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro wireless. So once you download it and you open it, you're going to be able to customize it. You just have to plug in the Game Hub and your headset to your MacBook or PC. As you can see, I already have both the Arctis Nova Elite headset and the Arctis Nova Pro wireless already. So this is if you want to customize the sound profile, update the firmware on the headset and the Game Hub on the Arctis Nova Pro wireless. So right now I just connected the Game Hub for the Arctis Nova Pro wireless just so I can show the different options you get on the SteelSeries GG app. I still need to connect the headset. I'm using a preset right now. You can change the mic level, other stuff, and you could also configure the Game Hub itself. That's pretty much it. And if you sign up for an account with SteelSeries GG app, then you're able to use Sonar. Where you can customize it even further. I still need to play around with this. So we're gonna go to settings right now, then go to device, then go to audio device. And that shows you the device input and output is both the Arctis Nova Pro wireless. So you want that. So then you don't need to connect the headphones to the controller anymore. So in this setup, I'm showing how the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro wireless and its game hub is connected to PS4 Pro, and it's all wireless setup. So for the USB in the back, we have connected the Seagate external hard drive. This is where I save the games for the PlayStation 4 Pro. I'm just using one of the USB ports. The other one is not used. Front USB port, I have connected the USB hub that I got. So I have both the dongles for the Victrix Pro BFG reloaded controller and the Nacon Revolution 5 Pro controller. And I have connected the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro wireless game hub to it. On the hub in the back, I have it connected to power. So I have the charging cable for these two controllers. So for the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro wireless game hub, I have connected the USB port that's labeled USB, the one that's connected to the USB hub right here. And then for the line out, I have connected the Chat Link Pro. The female connector here in the white splitter, I have nothing connected to it because I want to have a whole wireless setup. Then the other end of the Chat Link Pro is connected to the Elgato HD60 X. This HDMI cable is the one that comes from the PlayStation 4 Pro. This middle USB cable is the one that connects to my CalDigit USB hub. And then this is the output HDMI. So that cable is connected to the HDMI switch here, which I have. The black cable here is the one that's for the PlayStation 4 Pro. And then this one's for my Apple TV 4K. And then the output of this one connects to the HDMI port here on the media box that Marriott uses on their TV, connected directly to the port here on the TV. So then for the CalDigit Element 5 USB hub, I have this one's connected to the MacBook Pro M3 Max. And then I have it connected to power. This USB-C port is the one that's connected to the Insta360 Link 2 webcam. Then in the back here, I have connected the DJI Mic 2 receiver. Transmitters right here. The USB-C ports in the front. This one, I have it connected to my external SSD drive. And this one is the one that I have connected to the Elgato HD60 X. I'm running OBS Studio, the latest version. And as you can see right now, like I said before, it's connected to my PlayStation 4 Pro. The mic here is my external mic, and you can see it that I'm actually using it right now. For this setup, I truly have the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro wireless without any cables, so it's true wireless. And I have the Nacon Revolution 5 controller without any cables or the Chat Link connected to it. The same would be with the Victrix Pro BFG reloaded controller. So this is my game recording and streaming setup for the PlayStation 4 Pro using the SteelSeries Arctis Nova Pro wireless headset with a game hub and using the Nacon Revolution 5 controller and the Victrix Pro BFG reloaded controller. Everything is wireless because all the wires are connected to the game hub.